Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Air Radio Salguero Spin today, 10th March 2022. We now bring you the news from Banjul, the Gambia. First the headline, then after the details in both English and Mandinka. The first story on Standard newspaper: GPA seals compensation deal with Bakau and Banjul. And then NPP files 40 nomination. The National People's Party yesterday filed 40 nominations for same number of seats across the country. The party said it will not contest the remaining 13, but will back coalition partners. And then UDP to contest 48 seats. Africell sues MGI Telecoms for $1 million. Charges drop against woman accused of falsely obtaining $11 million from Britain. So those are the headlines so far from Standard News. So let's go to point. 8 in custody over suspected drug. GADHOH urges governments to employ sign interpreters in public offices. VC harps on positive UTG transformation. GRA Finance Director hails WCO SG Gambia visits. US efforts supports first solar green mini plant in Gambia. The national news below is not yet updated from the online paper, so let's go back and start with the first stories on Standard newspaper. And there are new ones. AU chair holds talk with Putin on possible ceasefire. Newly updated from Point newspaper. And court finds musician ST. Let me expand. Magistrate Mam Samba Jallo of the Kanifing Magistrate Court on 9th March yesterday, 2022, entered judgment against Sana Singate alias ST in favor of Nuha Bojang, the plaintiff. She ordered the defendant to pay the sum of $25,000 to the plaintiff and $15,000 for the tickets printed, $75,000 for breach of contract, and $25,000 as cost. That's incredible. So let's see whether those are the newly updated before we will glance back to Standard as well. So let's go back to Standard now because there is no more headlines we are to read from this paper point. So the first story on Standard newspaper, this one, GPA seals compensation deal with Bakau Banjul. This by Omar Ba, Standard reporter, read by Alhaji Air Radio Sal Geruna Spain. Now the details. The Gambia Ports Authority yesterday confirmed it has reached a compensation agreement with the Banjul Muslim elders and the Bakau Village Development Committee over issues dealing with the port expansion project. The much anticipated project, which will require some residents of Havdai to sell their houses and be relocated to Bakau to create more space for the operations of the only seaport in the country, was halted following GPA's failure to reach an agreement with the people of Bakau and the Banjul Muslim elders for the relocation of Muslim Senior Secondary School. However, yesterday the GPA said successful negotiations with the community of Bakau and the VDC have resulted in an agreement whereby part of the Kachikali layout will be ceded for the relocation of half-die residents. The half-die residents close to the port premises whose properties have been acquired for the port expansion could now vacate the acquired area to allow the construction of a new container terminal as one of the urgent components of the project, the GPA said in a statement. The GPA also explained that it has also reached an agreement with the Banjul Muslim elders and the Board of Governors of Muslim Senior Secondary School for the acquisition of the school premises and its relocation to a new place in Bruce B. The GPA said all these are part of the port expansion project as identified in the Port Master Plan 2019 to 2038. The acquisition of these areas and their conversion into container terminals will contribute in alleviating the space constraints, improve port performance, and help reduce the congestion being experienced, the GPA stated. The GPA statement said. The port's management expressed high delight with the patriotism demonstrated by the Bakau community, VDC, Alcalo, and traditional owners of the Kajikali layout for helping national development. Equally, our sincere appreciation goes to the Banjul Muslim Association, MOBSE, Ministry of Basic Secondary Education, and the Board of Governors of Muslim Senior Secondary School for their cooperation during the entire process of negotiations. The statement concluded there. Tomorrow they will bring more report, full text of this matter. So stay tuned there. Don't go away. We'll be back momentarily in Mandinka after a short jingle. Assalamualaikum badewlu continue kibaru lambe men karan kan sante membe ko kibaru kungul aning details o men karan sante membe den Gambia Port Authority ening Banjul Muslim Kebal ning Bakau sate molla kambe on ruka o mafang membe ko hafdai Banjul ke saundi Bakau kachikal layout o nyinda. So kibar follow men fintida Standard newspaper wala mu mbata men folaten GPA ening im sate fulo comme Bakau aning Banjul Muslim elders oli kambenda pour mon na se tonodi la pro la kenome bata lebul Banjul pour ka poro kamo fonunda la pour container bukal lola damento ni yinda kulungo kon ani bi nga continue Bii-Kiibaaro la UDP be mo tang nani anisi député oli men lon la nying député carte fawo men kanate Afrique Sel Gambia ol fane company samba kiti ole government MGI Telecoms me membe ko kodo men be tema men dara fo dollar million killing yo iko hanbi de chaji solbe jurumi kannande musokan membe ko o jurumita musokan membe ko ya tumi ay false obtaining comme niyomo ron ay kodolta mobulu min tonyata kono ay men foye membe ko angalo hanbi diko the men and the women, the religious, the conversation coming, but expand, the men and the women, the religions, the conversation. Ni mari alagi se di baro mentata non tiara si articulo le safi, so articulo ni nimen dunda standard iba jalala men safi so anibi nga continue kibaru ngola men findida standard newspaper anibi ajibe yo NPP olbe motannan ibe lon la nying député carte fawo men kanate so ajigi ko sai men follow findida standard dole modi ngata point newspaper membe sandeng kutama men findida ngoto olam eyo African Union ila kiamano diamo dati de ning Putin olam jumati Russia la president men ay chelo boy Ukraine kan ko sikeno ye kambe soto ka chelo londi ka men ceasefire misixiano me ka fay ko ST o sana singate yewle kitiblae chagirol la kande anyanta kodol men jola komen plentiful me asamba kiti dulato komen anai agreement dol soto men a fail komen nying chagis follow men la kan dala so monni lula nyanta send la nyi me asamba kitol ten ani wultan ni lulu fana nyanta ka o fana send ama koma tigetol de la print men kodo men na ani $75,000 men komen o keta punishment dol de agreemento men tartite may yaw tinya kontrago men tinya anim fanan 25,000 olam cost comme asamba kititula ay menjo so yolol beta ibne be kafronyo atlinyanta ko sayndi plentiful nyima memo no ha bojante olam jumati sana singate ka fay st brikama boyo so hanbi ma continue point la kibaro la TRC a recommendation on membondi anti-crime boss Gorgi Mbub be prosecuted comme nyanda ka kitin da nimfana ka aban purai do koke abe menna wala jumati Gorgi Mbub atalebe nun anti crime unit line boss telemoti animfana jang mo sey men be police la Morocco no men ye muta inin sobita ko on sa fodron hani ma fo sobita bari nyamole demonstrate comme embe ko marijuana ko yewlel muti ibulu yo kafo fanan bi kumandro ke mansa kundala ko pro se molta do ko la men ka nyin sign interpretal de men comme men buke moy men dabo ka diamono bari ka ikejele ni nata demonstration le ka men sign pour mobe kuma ka men fola ak fanan ka karanne tol ka karanne to men fanan ka man fanan so translate no ni mol menu ka kolea ko so to pour ka moyro ke bari ka jenole so sa sayno ke pour kuma kan la bari la karango nyin kuma kan li ka lon ne bulo ka ma nyame bul ko non la ka yitandi so kamala ko se molta men fanan ko do ko ke pour saje ko do ko lalto dinkra ko tan men be ko kibar bundal to siaje ko kali ning interpretation oke itul fane yo VC kwenye mu banangajibe VC harps on positive UTG wala Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Herbert Robinson, the Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, says his administration is determined to spearhead a positive transformation through a quality-first agenda within the limit available resource to fast-track the development. Kamendra be memfo kan ate mu vice chancellor na UTG wala university bari president Gambia aya jame system momin dundi president ka ke university la chancellor fangate men katra ko kunna so wala normalan ko wala katra university fangate do ko la mem be ko nin Dr. Robert Robinson ay memfo wala ngintis wrong tol elain do kudla ni be amutala sobe yala pour ka jiko ka continue pour positive transformation wala sinaf falindro soto falindro men ka kallanke ya ninata ila agenda follow la ninata limited available resource committal fanko men be bol wala kodoti pour ste tariya nyame ka mena fast track development wala ruwasi sot noje nyame with their limited resource dante hani bi GRA fanang hani bi fanang ila kumukang mutana ko ila finance director fanang content ribake anim fana kontanta ka WC ola secretary general wala world custom office ayin memara bema dunia be kono kata banko be kan memula nyaton koti ila secretary general kuma menata Gambia kumpa boro kunum fanang ala kumakang fintale membe ko nganing la moje membe ko comme giare la molu anim fana anin company olten men ye fonko ke men ye compliance ke nyatanga jola karola wala mu munti revenue collector ya so anin wala mol jele men be loading o company to inabe nyo konton yo hanabi nga continue kibar kungol la duma kibarol ten America fanan yi katakoli kede men be ko ka makoyro di solar green mini plant la Gambia bankole solar ni mo tiloka lampo men bondi comme true panelol la men ka aden ne anim fanan sinaje se batro sota kamen charge o batro nyum fanan kanana dimba lampo generate so inal mo kibar kun de min findita point is ngata kibar follow men karang details so ngale kanto so wala mo gi PA wala mo Gambia la port authority men me margen kulun ka sembe poro to dame banyun anim feriol ning do ko tangol ten ba kono fengo men ka sembe banyuno dinkrato ko santen ye fengo talde ya de parita ya sil wala monti compensation o comme gisunya brown to no men dilo men asortening bakaw sateo anin banyunu muslim elder soul tem teo ka continue ki waro nyin me ya safe Umar Ba memba krankan la jalama ya radio spend banko kan sal sateo nyin kono adanga sino nyin falin ngana continue ki waro nyin ya okay ki waro nyin mem ba ko do wala ngindi ko Gambia la port authority men marta poroto makunum yin confirm comme ya itandi ko ya tonya ndiko santen agreement o sotle pour sinana josu nyabran di banjunu Muslim elders la anim bakaw sate mol kame ka fola menye ko sate wala yiriwa ko be menbulu village development committee ko membe den ning dilo membe ko poro banyunna poro ala kono fanundo project wonyin karola bari ay dula fulalema dolbe wulila ila denkrato dolbe la dengrado dila o molsesi dame ka continue kibaro nyin hani bi ko nyimu fenneti men a projet ko ba batun kan molbe korondoring men ba akokono pour be men batun kan pour ase ken tarin ke nyame ko niaji be men sula kol bala pour molbe be siring banjun e ka dengra men kumandi half day komen ila dengral teng ila bungol teng ko nyanta ka bojeto ina kata saun bakaw kombo damen frus na sotondro ke munna palaso la frus tamandro keno komen Gambia banko kan porkil da male bejeto na banko kan fose ala palaso kafundino nyame ko nyum feniti anatallo nu Waato la kamirin GPA manna na sotondro keno pro ninyuno etemo ise kambe on sotno nyamen menbe ko baka onkolo anim banjun misilime kebal tem prumo na rong be sangu men kala kata be soundro men kala atondi nin kramo fanana me ka fuko Muslim high school banjun senior secondary school ngalo men na Muslim high school ko be kunun ate nin institution nin memu GPA inatna na la negotiation na soto ilaftala nyamen it was successful ni mol men be ko banyun sa fodron bakaw la committee bakaw sate o nyin anim fanan ila sate o committee mbeloring kol kunna ka fuwe ko VDC men na soto ndroke kambe wala pro damen part of the kachikali komen kachikali o ma fa la je ila layout o keneken samon bejeto pro sinana be said for the sadi purumuna nyin half day kolmen be sharing half day sinana kasi jeto ka kontene hani bi ko niaji be half day kolmen be sutiarin poro nyin na dinkrala damen ila property ila feng have been acquired komen ya table comme for the port extension comme ya soto bulpuru port nyin la kono fanola ka lafa pour mun na ron could now vacate it will be na bola jeto lo dinkral to pour mun na ron the acquired area ye damen fo e men soto bulu walam to allow purusinaje ko se loro keno fenna damen be ko e dinkra kuro men iba lola puru isake container la gindi dulati container men kulun ka samana as one of the urgent component comme nyimu dinkral timing sante men nyanda ka kafundi poro nyima membe ko katajo kono o project ko konaji be Gambia la GPS nyin kuma kan dante ila statement on nyin kono kambe ngom sosode yo GPA also explain GPA na kuma kan diko that it has also reached in na kambe on sosode membe ko enin banjun Muslim kebal teng anim fanang board of governor men be maraling Muslim senior secondary school ma purmun na rong sinana soton roke al ila dinkra nyina membe ko abe loren damen to bangin sata ko na afda jeto purmun na rong sinana ka at soundi ala dinkra kutome yanda ka loje wala mintoti Bruce B GPA men fo wala nginte ko the three are part of these are part of coming no fenati men abe kolle kono membe ko poro nyim puruka kono fanundi o project ko nyin damen yi sutero ke dingrame sutero ke jela wala mu indi port master plan comme poro nyin na master plan o men ya dida puru nyanta expansion o men kala bu mafong nyin na lo dan down je half day plan o men ya dida 2019 kata for 2038 ko nyin accusation comme nyin dingra men ya sota nyamen comme of these areas comme nyin area la and they are conversion into pour que je yelmandi ka ke container terminology ako nyin feneta bina la faro ke la fenna so na ndrola pour dinkra se warano nyamen ko poro nyin ila dinkra men kala doku ki ya nimfana si so ne andro ke koleal men be ibulujeto ru ila do ko si tamano anyama ay betia si talaro ki fanan ko njeseno la comme feŋol men ka durmi ño kanje fo labu ka sotno je be men kolya men tagi kan jeta bo sonen le GPA men itan poro ñin ila management o men meri siran ko yin ila kontana bayitan diko ko men ñin ila banku di ya men ya itan di banku din kendol ko membe ko bakaw sato ñin anila VDC aning alkalo aning traditional onasol ko men fon tamu bakaw kaci kalo law dinkran di keno ñime ya dila purga makoro ko mun bankola nyato ta ka men yirwa development equally in dol fana men ina nana ila tul fon ko men be ila sincerely ko men ko men ila nganio itan di nyamen ko men appreciation la ko men kanola pour mon nadron pour kata molia meme ko banjun muslim association anin pana ministry buname marta nyin duma karamo la basic school and the board of governors ila governor men marta karamo nyin na kola muslim senior secondary school for their cooperation coming damen kafula pour mon nadron nyin wato men bitam date be kul tamandi kam wato men kachala ga men negotiation anin fana statemento na dang woldo bari ay ama mo banka chama bande bari nimmel la fita puruka ku jama long nyin koto sama membe fintla ila reporto standard nyin kola iba jel sorry yo mangana ngalla moy do man ning fonkola jengulo la sina dum kibardo fanankon. Welcome back. Still with Standard Newspaper. The headline: UDP to contest 48 seats. This one by Omar Ba, and read by Hajarama Air Radio Sal Jeruna Spin. Now the details. The United Democratic Party will today go to the IEC's regional offices across the country to file nominations for 48 candidates out of the 53 National Assembly seats in April's elections. The 48 candidates will include most of the sitting names elected in 2017. That year, the party won 31 out of the 53 seats, but later expelled 8 who have shifted allegiance to President Adama Barrow. The full list of the UDP candidates as follows: Banjul North, Modlamin Bii-Kiibaaro. Modlamin Bii-Kiibaaro. Central, Banjul Central, Momodu Chorno Jallo. Banjul South, Yaya Kuyate. Jeswang, Buba Jadama. Bakau, Hassan Ture, Talinding Kunjang, Musa Baji. Bundunka Kunda, Bakar Njai. Serakunda West Madi MK Sise, Serakunda Yakumba Jaite, Latrikunda Sabiji Yaya Sanyang, Sani Mintring Fatu Cham, Busumbalang Mamudu Sabali, Ol Yundum Lamin Sabali, Brikama North Al-Ahaji S. Dabo, Brikama South Lamin J. Sane, Combo South Keba Bii-Kiibaaro, Combo East Abdu So, Fonyi Jarol Abdullahi Bondi, Lower Nyomi Matar M. Jeng, Opa Nyomi Momodu El Diba, Joka Du Momodu Mar, Lower Badibu Kemo Gasama, Central Badibu Suleiman Saho, Iliasa Dembo KM Kamara, Sabah Sanyal Maimuna Gay, Kiang West Lamin Sise, Kiang Central Bakari Kamara, Kiang East Yaya Gasama, Jara West Kajali Fofana, Jara Central Wandifa Wiye Sane, Jara East Seni Ture, Nyamina Dankunku Esa Sidikan, Nyamina West Basiru Sise, Nyamina East Alhaji Madi Sise, Lower Fuladu Karamo Fati, Upper Fuladu West Numukunda Kanyi, Janjambure Jarai Faike Same Alfuseni Sise, Nyani Alhaji SB Silla, Nyani Ja Momodu Cham, Lower Salum Halimatu Sidia So, Opa Salum Momodu KFCC, Base Haji Suare, Wuli West Tida Kijera, Wuli East Fatumata Juara, Sandu Muhammad Maharena, Tumana Rada for the Drame and Kantora for the Fati. So it ends the station. Then go, we'll back momentarily after a short jingle. Yasa mai ba longa continue hanbi ning standard level nyola kabring mbata kiwari kola lunta details kono be kiwar flanja wala kono temeng la details so ndom kiwala temeng ko UDP candidate mo tang nani anin say deputy oli be men la out of in siran talulu anin sabombe Gambia banko beka men safe wala mo Omar Bari memba kranga la jala ma ya radio spin banko kan salsata kon United Democratic Party eko bi bita IC la regional official beto Gambia banko kan nana ka nomination ke la deputy tannani anin sewala men nyanta kallo Gambia banko kan in deputy karrefa men kanate men totalo mu talulu anin sabal bal tannan anin se itel bola londi la purunyin deputy karrefa nyinna in April nen kanate eko munyim mo tannani anin se o teng men bol kono most of the sitting names or men be sitting something ila deputy bankol bebul men kanyetan 2017 sankon all bol kono anim fanan ko sangala men kanyeta the party won 31 o sawning mo tansa banin killing wala kanyeta non deputy carte fawala nyin tallul nin sabo kono ko bari o kolala le mo na mo sey bay ni mo sewol men bari min party o me londi tiketo ila ticket o party ila tiketo koto inata botle saunda adam barola karola ikola makoy patio nyi ye kodi olo kamali natne bay ila patio kono bari patio la loi mang song wala ka continue ko mol men mineto falaten full list nyi to liye mol men londe din kral to katre fay tunnol kan wala mum banjun note mumud lamin bi ba bangin central wala temati mumud lamin chorno jallo mamadou chorno jallo banjun south ya kuyate Jeswang Buba Jadama Bakau wala mu Asan Turiti Talinin Kunjang Musa Baji Bundunga Kunda Bakarinjai Serakunda West Madi MK Sisi Serakunda ya kumba jaiti latri kunda sabiji ya sanyang sana mentreng Fatu Cham Busumbala Mamodu Sabali Ol Yundum Lamin Sabali Brikama North Alhaji S Dabo Brikama South Lamin J Sane Combo South Keba Ke Baro Combo East Keba Abdullahi So Combo Tilibola Fonyi Jarol Abdullahi Bondi Lowa Nyomi le Nyomi Dumala Mafonla Maftar M Jeng Nyomi Sandola Mamadou El Diba Jokadu Mamadou Mar Lowa Badibu Dumala Kerwane Mafonla Kemo Gasama Central Badibu Tema Suleiman Saho Iliasa Lama Fonla Olem Dembo Ki M Kamarati Sabak Sanjal Mai Muna Jei Kiang Tili Jiola Lamin Sisi Kiang Tema Bakari Kamara Kiang Tilibola Yaya Gasama Jara Tili Jiola Kajali Fofana Jara Tema Wandifa Wiye Sane Jara Tilibola Seni Ture Nyamina Dankunku Esa Sedikan Nyamina Tili Jiola Basiru Sise Nyamina Tilibola Alhaji Madi Sise anin fanan fuladu dumala karamo fati fuladu santola tili jiola ka me numukunda kanye janjambure makati wala jarai faike same alfuseni sise nyani alhaji SB Silla nyani ja Momodu Cham Salum Dumala Halimatu Sidia so Salum Santola Mamadou KFCC Basse Haji Suare Wulli Tiligiola Tida Kijera Wulli Tilibola Fatumata Juara Sandu Muhammad Maharena Tumanna for the drame aning laban wala mu kantorati for the Fati so ginan mu multi UDP mo tannan ni sewmen londi in député karto man fawmen kanata en karimen kana tili konontola so al bisa longo nyama momom be karto fayla ni mafan la al salongo ginan mu multi al UDP men londi pour ni contest men kana ni race ni men abekela nyontaol de Gambia bankokan ina be na démocratie itan la Gambia bankokan ko President si kanye si keno dibitole kanye men mankala dibitol di pro isnana ka na dibite bon isnana affairsol tamandi je membe ko ila mafon weda avec la particle nabe majority sur labang fo abe jaga sila labang multi party and fana independent vestibulo wol fo la sur la na député bungoto santeng comme kaf men na kembañing seasonal la karola sinaje ko ninko pluralism ni nata democracy la ni nata rule of law la good governance sinaje ko wose sentano wudlato nyame mbari ningata aketa jakasodi abe beti ala bake mol mel loyalta bankoya be lonna wolto nim fana sayma kola sinaje ko mol salon ko e karto fay menye e be do ko ke kan tolle the interest of the nation so ngin mo ko so mbade mo mina nyawto mal kan ata dawda nimbata indoto mina kibaro fana sambalale nan nin jingulo botal. Welcome back. Still with Standard News for the headline. Africell sues MGI Telecoms for $1 million. The the headline. Now, the details. GSM giant Africell has instituted a suit against MGI Telecom, claiming the sum of $1 million United States dollars being damages for interference with contractual agreement made on the 16th September 2011. Africell is also seeking a court injunction restraining MGI Telecoms Limited by themselves, their agents, from interfering with their property and business. During yesterday's hearing at the court, the Africell CEO Hassan Diab Ghanem, under cross-examination as to why the suit was not done since Jammeh's time, told the High Court that Africell was scared to sue the previous regime of Jammeh, as suing his government would be suicidal. He disclosed that he became CEO of Africell in 2020 and that during Jammeh's regime, Africell was kept in the dark by MGI Telecoms as to the management agreement that the government of the Gambia had with them. He further said Africell was forced to comply with the terms and conditions of MGI Telecoms, adding that the previous regime, through its operations at the time, used the NIA to force them to comply with the terms and conditions. He explained that MGI physically took over both the voice and data traffic and even blocked WhatsApp, Viber, and some services. Mr. Hussein said at the time, even the regulator Pura's power was weak, considering the power MGI wielded, and it is an open secret that the democracy we enjoy now did not exist during Yahya Jammeh's regime, and the judiciary was somewhat interfered with by the executive. It ends here. Stay tuned. Don't go. We'll be back momentarily in Mandinka after I start jingle. Kasama imalo nga continue Bii-Kiibaaro la mem fanang bota Africell standard ko ye telecommunication company me ka fa MGI ngalon ko nyimu company timeng ni ya jamel tatanun do kola nun Gambia Bangkokang kaje ko so control Gambia la telecommunication nyima so kamala in Waato lay bundu hatal bakele ko men ninata contract la karola damen ka ngatango soto je to anim fanan enawol ke force pour se comply ka song ni MGI la kola ye fengo fen fo nyanda ka tama wala Gambia Bangkoka to ka continue Bii-Kiibaaro nyina men mu GSM comme ni sim card company bulma kalan telephone men katra mol bulo kono company buying in Atanana, Ikafu Africell, Natana ka company sama kiti la sante member ko MGI. MGI nebe operate kan Gambia Bangkok automo wolel martela kola ni wolel contract so woldung dana ka mosafo Gambia la mansakunda koto mesiring ala nyaton kola kango katamol. O kamala ko in samba kiti la membita kodo la karola membita ko dolaro million killing America la kodo pour mon nadro ye damage o menke pour ye dadung ila contract o men agreement o men soto la tema ko kabrin September till tang ani war 2011 song Afrique sel na nyinin droki kididla pro se londroke kola ni se jamfandi kola membe ko nyin company me ka foy ko MGI me inin men problem mo sudden telecoms limited brutal fangol ten kaje ko ila agentol anim fanan kane dado mume ke ila sota fangol la karola ni la business wala ye o fanan kanin kididla bulu so leka ka continue ko kunun wato menna nyin kitio be langoy kala Africell la CEO comme même Hussein Diab Ganim min natnana loyal la karola nyinin karo ni jabiro sotoda ni men tema men ba nyinin ka kan din kranyin to kitila sto comme in kitio munatinna kabirin ya jammela wato e manyin kitio samba kitila nyindo high court ya memfo ko Africell silatale puruka Mansakunda koto min be num banko kan ya jamme be min nyaton ka ala pour ko samba kidiola ko mu fenneti ate men foli to silata o lale ndum fanan o mu fenneti momo ke wala ngindron ye fande ngilola ye fan fay ka min susaila ka continue ay min tan di jeto ko men akati anatana ka ke nyin company nyaton ko to wala mu Africell ti nyimbul makalang sim card telephone men ke tamandi anin internet 2020 sango konna kata je CEO manager ka continue ako andat during yato minna ya jame la marlo kono ako Africell comme yetul dibola kono karola membe ko MGI wala nyin company kilango memba fokanten wala nunkum ya jame sembodi wala la wala market wala ko la telecommunication on pour manage to the management agreement coming men ka topotoro ke telecommunication kola ni ragi be that Mansakunda membe ko Gambia had with them comme Mansakunda sembo men dila yo men sembo men soto Mansakunda bol wala ka management ke ning agreement ol bela ka continue ko yemen dante ko ning Africell comme ye forcé pour ka song kola men be ko conditional la ni ragi be agreement ol men be ning company tema aning comme ka menna conditional kol be lar nyamen ñun ya la ñaaw may ñanta ka songol le ke forcé wala ñin ka fo membe ko MGI telecommunication natna la faro ko fanan ko ñin Mansakunda ko men tata Gambia banko kan comme through its operations comme la tamandriñal la kola wato la membe ko ka NIA police oli kolta pour que tol forcé pour ye song ñin mol tema comme kolmen be lari teme kafmen conditional natna men fu fananga ko MGI comme nu dinkralti comme physically took over natna to le fenjamata ni nata telefono la comme kamol kumandi kafmen na voice anim fanan data traffic wala internet nyin na karola anim fanan even block natna sorondro ki WhatsApp wala bengo kalamtal no ni what Viber na banko kan aning service koton la nyin ya jamele nyin bula yoke o Gambia ding la tumo Mr. Hussein Nying natna men fo wala nginda ko the time even the regulator sai ka men ko pura wato la men be sirin Gambia la banko kan nyim festival la mol ke muna fa men na men ka control men ka dida atoben momo nyanta tamandro ke la nyame ko sembo data baga ni ata gibi comme in la karola ka men MGI wala fon sembo warti di Gambia banko kan comme nyimu fenetron kulombe larin kene ba katanto ni na ta kolla santen ne o jibe nun to anim bi comme démocratie taram fambulo be kerente o maralo men nin loi kata comme be men munafan kan santen anim fanan ni ajibe men man sot nun ya jamela wato nyinna anim fanan na kiti bundal to fanan comme sai ni ajibe was somewhat interfere comme wato la ni ajibe nyatongol ke dadun kiti kol kono le ilafta meye ke kitidula wala ka kijeto somo mina nyato do manning kibar kotla memel la lengang sinana gibe fonse continue no nina recording system o en so ba naman so fana segment koto do jibe Welcome back. Still with Standard Newspaper. The headline. This is a press from National People's Party. Now the details. This one by Tabora Bojan, sorry. He said NPP files 40 nominations. That means they have 40 aspirants. Those are going to raise these National Assembly elections. The details. The National People's Party yesterday filed 40 nominations for same number of seats across the country. The party said it will not contest the remaining 13 but will back coalition partners NRP, APRC, and PPP at those constituencies. One of the candidates nominated yesterday was Mustafa Low in Serakunda West. Low is among several others to challenge incumbent Mahdi Cisse of the UDP for the seat. He contested the 2017 parliamentary election as an independent candidate and earned little over 800 votes. But this time, Mr. Low said he is hopeful and will go all out to defend the policies and development aspirations of President Barrow in the Assembly. Asked what inspired him to contest instead of allowing younger aspirants in line with his party's focus on youth empowerment, Low replied, "Yes, the youths were among those who applied, but I was very fortunate to get it, and I am very pleased that the people decide to pick me, and I know I will fulfill whatever tasks are ahead of me." It ends the stay tuned. Don't go. It'll be back momentarily in Mandinka. Yo sama imare olong a continue yemme kila kiwar lawre memen karan standard da do fanan karan point in silver killing o langin kang because time on yin nang alawla na siata back so yimu press le dimen ya sea kata standard la kiwar tale ya membo ko tabora bojang wala sabe ko NPP mo tannan londi député carte fao nyin ko National People's Party mem kunung yela filing ke comme nomination la dingral to taring namba kilongo men nankamo me yafo banko mu me be ka wala siran tannani be lola wolto tannin sabo bo tula ila back coalition partners wala la men be ko NRP APRC aning PPP comme wo dingral to katre fay tundul ko wol fanambe la député land lot nyagi be candidate kono mo kilin sorta je men nominate kunung men keta Mustafa Loti Serakunda tiligela Mustafa Lo mo le kono men be ko do ko la men to challenge binamo lola mofe membe ko santen o député siran membe membe ko Mahdi Cisse UDP la député oni ko nyin kewo nyin fa Mustafa nyin alota nyin katre fa itamila député katre fa 2017 parliamentary election nyin kono ada alota independent alota fa ngamallo party kilna ticket ola nimfanan anatna men soto katre ke sola wolemu bat katre ke se kem say ko bari nyaji be ni wato la sainte ngate men fo lo ako he is hopeful abi jigrin ko ate abitale ka findi puruka defen ke ka fasaro ke fen na membe ko polisil comme ferol ning kol many developmental carola comme aspiration of president baro comme president alam baro la hamo mende puruka ke abitawla defend national assembly ay memfo ala diamo kon atanginin muna fanga tinla fanga te abilola among palaso nyimbula pour dinno le pour la kafu la patio nyin kono pour bari to la patio nyimbe koko suru menka wala mu fonnin cewol sementu ya munana mayin palaso bula fonnin cewol loye men jabi o kuma kan ko ha ate ko fonnin cewol be nyin mol kono le men ye safero ke bari atel na ke mo fala di mati men ay nyim palaso so ko kontanto la bake yanin men yin decision tabe ya taten ko abe ila jikoti man le akita nyaaw nyaama e doku diala nyaagibe nyatola abe o timman le nyin kuma kan danta wala so mina nyato de mani kiwara ko tan fanana be sauna point le ngamen lokir jeto nano fanan futandal. Welcome back. Now with point newspaper. TRRC recommends anti-crime boss Gorgin Bob be prosecuted and banned. This one by Ali Jao, point reporter, read by Radio Salgeronas. Now the details. The commander of the infamous anti-crime unit of the Gambia police force should be slapped with prosecution for the right violation meted on former St. Augustine's school teacher, Mr. Usman Sabali, per the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission TRRC report. Gorgimbo admitted that the police participated in this state-orchestrated cover-up to minimize their responsibility during the demonstrations, and in particular, they intended to mislead the Commission of Inquiry into error about the responsibility of the police in the events of April 10 and 11, 2000. The report states, after he was summoned to testify before the Commission of Inquiry, he was threatened by his superior officers not to reveal the names of any of his colleagues. He was ordered to narrate a concocted story which he did at the Commission of Inquiry and also attempted to do at the TRRC after he was caught lying twice, the court added. The report added, rather. He admitted that his testimony and other police officers, including Inspector Dabo, were fabricated to cover up the extent of role of the police during the April 10 and 11, 2000 demonstrations. The report also outlines that Jai So, officer commanding Banjul Police Station, unlawfully authorized the supply of firearms and ammunition to police officers, including Gorgin Bob, Yorombalo, and Usman Cham. Gorgin Bob and other, including Inspector Dabo, Momodu Lamin Fati, Abdullah Ba, Momodu Cham, and Momodu Gajaka, unlawfully entered the premises of St. Augustine High School in total disregard for the school authorities and recklessly launched a tear gas canister into a classroom full of students. During the demonstration, Gorgi Mbub assaulted teacher Usman Sabali by striking him with his baton and gun butt, causing him serious injury. Gorgi Mbub and other officers unlawfully shot into a building at St. Augustine High School, resulting in unlawful damage and injury to 3 students, namely Bubakar Jagana, Omar Sose, and Ibrahim Dabo. Gorgi Mbub and Inspector Dabo participated in a conspiracy by state agents to cover up the full extent of the participation of the police by giving false testimony, concealing and fabricating evidence at the Commission of Inquiry into Public Disturbances of 10th and 11th April 2000 to mislead the Commission. In view of what these mentioned above, TRRC recommends that Gorgi Mbub be prosecuted for the assault and injury of Usman Sabali and also be banned from holding public office for 5 years. All those who were with Gorgi Mbub at St. Augustine's High School, including Momodu Lamin Fati, Abdullah Ba, Momodu Cham, and Momodu Gajaga, should be subjected to internal disciplinary mechanisms if they are still occupying public office, the report states. It ends there. Stay tuned there. So after this, we will have a short jingle. Then after we will close this segment, and for the further news will be in another segment.